I'm gonna go for the French against e4, and I'm gonna play a little bit of a more interesting version. I'm not gonna be playing the main lines, and against e5, it's quite an interesting topic because this is very common. But bishop d3 is actually a sort of bad move. I mean, it could be interesting if he plays it in like a gambit way, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't. And the main move for white is to play like c3. And then I was actually planning to go bishop d7, queen b6 take, and then trade off the bad bishop. And I think this way you actually get an easier version of the French that I'm gonna be trying to play throughout these streams and videos. But yeah, we're just gonna get this stuff. I think I could have thrown in bishop b4. Okay, here's actually a very nice kind of puzzle rush theme because we can win the bishop. There's no knight c3 because that's square we have under control, and black is just winning a free piece here in this French. I'm just gonna take. He's also kind of struggling to castle right now, which is an additional problem for my opponent. Just gonna develop. He gave me ideas of bishop c3 with his last move. Gonna go bishop c3. And now usually in this French, you get to develop your knights like either to g6 or f5. I think I'm gonna be using g6 just to target the e5 pawn. He should trade queens to like finish development, but I'm gonna still have a completely winning position anyways. The knight is under attack. We might get a funny checkmate. He's gonna play knight f1, I'm gonna go knight f4, he's gonna play g3, and I'm gonna go knight g2, mate. This is gonna be funny. I know he's gonna play g3, mate. Shall we pre-move? Shall we pre-move? Nah, he played rook g1. Okay, that's better for him. Well, what is a tricky way to continue now? I'm trying to come up with one, but maybe just gonna play normal. Gonna castle next. I wanted to go for the cheaper, but hey. Gonna castle long and then gonna be playing with d4. That is the idea. And okay, if my opponent is fine playing the endgame, so am I. I'm gonna go f6 and we're just gonna be winning pawns in the center. Gonna go e4, hitting the knight. If knight g5, okay, we're gonna be... I could trade, but I like e5 better. I don't really want to activate his king for no reason. Not that it really matters at this point. He plays knight b5. I'm just gonna go here, controlling this square, and then I'm gonna be playing a6. He has to be careful with the knight already. a6, I'm gonna be just winning the knight. If he goes g4, we can just step back and then collect the knight. Yeah, no need to rush with taking the knight. The knight is not really running anywhere. It's literally trapped, and we're gonna be collecting it on the next move. He plays a4. That doesn't really change much. We can just take, go knight d4, and I think I'm gonna be playing like king b8 and then gonna use the c file for my rook. Yeah, I'm gonna take on c2. Could have taken really a knight and go for the fork, but this way we're opening up a lot of pieces against his king, and I'm guessing we're gonna have a knight checkmate with knight b3. Now the king is under attack, and then we mate him. And this is a pretty cute kind of picture here with the knight defending the rook. Alright, let's go for the next one. We're gonna be playing a new French. And this time he actually plays the exchange line. And this is another thing that I think you guys may be running into quite frequently when you play the French. I think a lot of people will just take on d5 because they don't know the theory. And now against weaker players, normally I would keep queens on the board, but I just want to show you how easy you can outplay them in the end games as well. So I'm gonna go for this seemingly looking symmetrical position, but I will try to, you know, show you that even if it's a position that looks kind of drawish, you can still yeah, beat the crap out of your opponent basically. Okay, he allows me to create a weakness on d3, which will take it. Now we'll develop with tempo. He might have to play d4, and then we're gonna be continuing to develop. I could play knight f6. Okay, he plays knight e5, but this is actually allowing me to uh, hit him with f6, and then the pawn on d3 will hang. Well, I don't really think that the exchange line is that big of a first draw. I can show you at least one line where you can castle long as black, and yeah, if you're playing against weaker opponents, you should have very good chances of like outplaying them. But you could also like play the standard way, keep an equal position and still win later, like Magnus does this like a lot, where he just keeps going and keeps playing this type of equal positions. Sure, it's like, you know, a dead draw if the guy you're playing is not skilled enough to to outplay him. But if you're playing a good guy, you're not gonna be having a fun time in the exchange line, because the fact of the matter is that when you're playing the exchange variation, well, he sort of equalized from move 1, and he also has a pretty risk-free position, meaning that he can play you for like 7 hours without really, you know, risking anything, and it's a really pleasant situation to be in. Okay, we can just take the pawn. And I know I'm playing Blitz, but I'm talking more about like a classical time control game. You know, like guessing you're playing the exchange in like a serious game. So I'm just gonna go knight f5. I'm up 2 pawns. Gonna be bringing rooks next. If I play a5, he might go b5. So I'm gonna fix that first, and then I'm gonna go a5. Trying to somehow activate this guy on a8. The Oprah game is actually a very nice one. I think everyone who starts playing chess should be one of the first things that he sees or he, you know, learns. Okay, yeah, I just had this cute tactic, and I think we also have like a first mate after like rook e8 or something. I can just take the free piece, but I'm looking for better. I'm gonna take on f3 simply though. No need to overcomplicate things. He plays rook g3. I'm just gonna go bishop to c5, trying to keep his king in the center. He plays d4, but we can just take it. He goes to d3, but then we have this check with the bishop. But then he can play king e2. That was a little bit dodgy by me, but okay, he just takes. Now this rook actually activates. See, I took with the pawn to open up the rook. And now, yeah, I'm literally like a rook up and a couple of pawns. So he takes, I'm just gonna take back. We do get the trades, but I'm gonna be up a rook. So whenever you're up material, trades should be welcome. Just gonna check and then either mate or trade rooks. If he goes to e4, there's mate on e3. Yeah, okay. There we have it. And yeah, by the way, the line that I mentioned in the exchange French, when they play like this, it's not really that much of a dead draw if black tries out at least this line with like knight c6, and let's say white plays normal like this. Like this is pretty much how anyone would play. They'll castle, you can go for this type of stuff. And yes, I know if they go for like b4 super quickly, you cannot really castle long, but I mean, a lot of players would do this, something like this, and you can play like long castle. And you do like this, and it's still like very interesting and double-edged. I've actually won a lot of games when I used to play the French. So yeah, I think this is pretty nice, but also there's like nothing wrong with like playing the main lines, getting equal positions, and trying to outplay your opponents later. We have e4, and we're gonna be trying to play the same French once again. We do face in an exchange variation, and this time I'm gonna be trying to play with long castle, and I'm gonna start with like bishop d6 knight e7, and this way you could also play c6 and castle short and be okay, but I'm doing it just to get it into this kind of lines. Gonna get the bishop there, queen e7, and then long castle. Okay, he plays queen d2, which I think is pretty bad because he allows me to take. Yeah, I mean, I should probably just switch to like positional mode, but I'll play queen e7, see what he wants to play. He's probably gonna castle long, but yeah, that's a little bit more annoying because we're not gonna be having opposite castles anymore. He's gonna go castle. He does play f3, which I think is a decent move. He's gonna drop the bishop to e6 only. And after he makes this move, I think I'm gonna go f6 idea to play g5 and then h5. Just gonna go h5 if g5, knight f5 is gonna be pretty juicy. He plays h3, but we can take twice because this rook will be hanging at the end. Because he has not castle and his king is still in the center, so now we're completely winning. Bishop g3 also like a huge threat. He plays knight f4. There's no threat really. I can take that and play knight d4, I guess, and then there will be a huge fork on f3 looming. It's gonna be like really bad. Yeah, and we do get it on the board, and now we end up winning his queen. Okay, that was a pretty nice and quick win. Didn't really go to show many instructive ideas, but yeah, I guess we'll take it. Okay, my opponent plays e4. We still are going to play the French, and we will try to go for this kind of French where we trade the bad bishop, but looks like we get more of an exchange French. Gonna play bishop to d6. I think I'm just gonna keep it very simple and castle short this time. Not gonna just try to long castle and mate my opponent. That is not really fair. And I'm just gonna keep it symmetrical. I like to get bishop g4 in this structure, pinning his knight. Definitely this bishop is a little bit misplaced as it's restricted by my pawn. This bishop is usually on d3. Gonna go there. Knight d7 might be one of the next moves, and I'm gonna go for a tricky move now, threatening to take on h2. Because a lot of people may just play knight d2 and then they forget about that threat. Not my opponent though, he seen that I'm threatening to take there and play g3. And already we are playing almost in like the 1300s, so we are climbing pretty quick. I'm gonna go rook e8. And I'm ready to play knight e4 on the next move, because we're trying to occupy the outpost that we have, which is pretty nice. We also can think about like h5 ideas, playing in like Lila 0 fashion. You can go knight e4. The rating goal for the speedrun, I think, should be 2500. I mean, I picked it like 2700 on chess.com, but I think it should be like fairly simple to get to like 2500. We'll see, I mean, then if we can like try to get it you know, even further, but like 2500 would be like the first goal. 3k, I don't think we can get to like 3k, honestly. I never was 3k but I never really try hard, to be honest. Okay, just bishop e6 and we're saving all the pieces. Pretty funny. Just gonna pick up another one. Where is the fate? Well, I'm definitely like a very positive person in this kind of stuff, but I'm also just trying to be like a little bit realistic. It's not like I'm really playing blitz like all day long. I'm actually a little bit rusty on my blitz. But I mean, definitely in the future, who knows? But I like to play like more casual, to be fair, while I'm playing chess.com or any like other blitz games. I mean, if I can get like an interesting opening and get like a sort of enjoyable game, that is pretty much my goal. I'm not like really that much up to flag people rook versus rook for like extra 5 points and you know, like this kind of stuff. Okay, we just got this game. I don't think we had to do really all that much. Like I just placed my pieces better than my opponent, even though the pawn structure was like pretty symmetrical, and it's really all about occupying this outpost with a knight on e4, and then the position becomes quite tricky to play for my opponent. And he yeah, was kind of annoyed by this threat of taking on g5, I guess, and he took, and then we are winning a piece because the knight is pinned. So I'm gonna go for the next game.